Time don't reach for this our nation to start to have a reorientation. That
Today we'll be doing a video about something different, and I hope you enjoy the video we'll be doing today. We'll be talking about agriculture and security, how our agricultural practice can actually affect the security of our environment. But in case you have not subscribed to this channel, before I go into the video proper, I want to encourage you that you subscribe to this channel, share with others. Don't just watch alone and enjoy alone. Share with others. Click on the notification button and also like our videos in case you enjoy the video. And I assure you that each time a new video is posted, because you have subscribed to this channel, you'll be notified adequately and you'll be able to watch some other videos. I want to discuss something very critical. That's the issue of security. Over the years, we have had serious security challenge, not really in villages per se, even within the urban cities. We've had security challenges. Farmers must look into if they really want to help in terms of security issues. And today we'll be discussing the issues of planting tall crops as against lower crops. Now, when we talk about tall crops, we are talking about crops that grow as high as 5 feet to 6 feet and even taller than 6 feet. Those could actually be security challenge. Even from 4 feet, they could actually be security challenge to us. Now, why will they be a security challenge? The reasons are not far-fetched. Now, the reasons why those things will be a security challenge, as you will be seeing in this video, is the fact that when you grow taller crops, it serves as a place where hoodlums, where thieves, where bandits, where kidnappers could actually hide. Talking about lower crops, when we talk about lower crops, we are talking of the likes of soybeans, groundnuts, beans, and the likes of them, cocoyam, sweet potatoes. All these are lower crops as against tall crops like maize, guinea corn, and the likes of them are tall crops. Now, we're talking about this because they serve as security challenge to a lot of people that you live around. Now, we understand that before now in the villages, we have people have their residential areas and we have them have farmlands where they go all the way to where the farms are and they farm there. Then when they come back home, they stay and enjoy the environment where they live. Those environments are properly divided, and you know that this is a farmland and this is a residential area, as against what we have in the urban cities. Now, because of the number of people that are moving from the rural areas to the urban areas, with the rural-urban migration that we are having, we have challenges faced in the urban cities because these people are used to farming, and we encourage everybody to farm as well, because that is what we do on this channel. We encourage people to farm. However, we wouldn't want your farming activity to be a security threat to people around you. So we encourage that you, instead of farming those taller crops, because you are living in a residential area, you have a place where a house is by the side and you have a farmland in the middle, you have an empty space in the middle, and you have another house by the other side. We encourage that when you are farming in those spaces, please farm lower crops. And these are the reasons why we do that. We encourage that. We encourage this because we discover that a lot of people that farm those higher crops, they create a security challenge. You have somebody inside that place could actually be raped, and because the person is being raped, nobody could spot them because of how tall those crops are. So a hoodlum can actually hide inside there with somebody and rape someone, and before the person can be attended to, the act has been done already. Or you could have somebody being murdered inside those places, but because the places are high and thick, so they are serving as security threats. You cannot spot a house from a distance, even when a thief comes to burgle a house, because of how thick the plants that he's planted around his vicinity are. You can't spot it even if you want to render help to. A neighbor cannot render help because he cannot even spot and know that there's a security threat at the other side. We have issues where kidnappers could come within the daytime, hide inside inside those farms that are thick and tall. They could just hide inside that place. When it is night, they can go out and perpetrate any evil they want to perpetrate, and a lot of other things that will have happening within those spaces. So we encourage that because of this security challenge that these tall crops actually serve us, they don't give us clear visibility, they don't give us access. It's a whole lot of security issues. Even when you are able to spot a thief, for instance, who has vandalized a property or has gone in to steal somewhere, and you go after the thief, when the thief goes into that farm, because of how thick the place is, you can't easily spot the thief. And even if you spot you are going after the thief, you are not sure of what the thief is holding. You can go into the place, and because you cannot easily see the person can hide somewhere and stab you to death, or even give you a serious injury that you battle with for a long time. So we are saying these are reasons why we shouldn't plant tall crops. I'm actually saying this because I'm a farmer myself, and I don't want people frowning at us farmers, so that it doesn't look like the problem we are having in our society or in our community is perpetuated by farmers. We encourage that we feed the nation and not cause trouble to the nation. And I hope that this video will serve as encouragement to someone who before now has not thought of the fact that what his agri practice is actually serving as a threat to people's security. We don't intend that this be the situation. So if you find out that that is the situation, please, you can take a change. So what do you do as against farming those tall crops? We encourage that you farm lower crops. Farm lower crops like soybean, lower crops like groundnut, lower crops like sweet potatoes and all that. It might not be that which you eat in your house, but you can farm those things and sell them, then buy whatever you want to, you would have farmed. Take for instance, you enjoy using corn to make a lot of delicacy. You can farm your soybeans after harvest, you can sell it and buy your corn very cheap. Now, we have done our research and discovered that even the taller crops are not as valuable in the market in terms of the price as against most of the lower crops that we farm. Let me just take two of the crops, for instance, and do a comparison. Now, if you're farming, say, maize, for instance, which is a tall crop, it grows as high as 5 feet, 6 feet, and even higher than that at maturity, and as it gets matured. Now, when you farm such a crop, you discover that one, the cost of farming that crop is quite expensive. Now, let me take you through what it takes to farm maize, for instance. First, you clear the soil. First, you clear the soil. You clear the farmland where you are going to be farming. After clearing the farmland where you'll be farming, the next thing you do is that you till the soil, make it into ridges, and after making it into ridges, you plant, and immediately after planting, you apply your fertilizer or your manure, as the case may be. Then after that, when it grows wheat, you come and weed your land. After weeding your land, you observe it to grow again. When it grows, you do what we call bankasa in the northern part of this country. In the northern part of Nigeria, you do bankasa, which means adding more soil to the plant so that the plant has enough soil that it can grow very well. Then it grows up, and after growing up, you do your harvest when it is mature. But before you even do your harvest, you still need to apply some more fertilizer to it. So at least when you are farming corn, at least you apply fertilizer twice. Then apart from that, again, you do weeding, you add more soil to it. So it's a whole lot of resources you are putting into that. As against farming something, say like, for instance, soybeans or even groundnut. Now, let me just pick groundnut, for instance. If you are farming groundnut, what you just do is that you make your ridges. After making your ridges, you plant your groundnut. When there's weeds, you come and weed it. Now, groundnut is a plant that you don't need to put fertilizer at all. Now, the reason is that if you put fertilizer, what you just discover is that it's going to grow a lot of leaves, and you discover that after harvest, you discover that there's nothing down. That's because you have just put a lot of fertilizer and it doesn't make sense. So one, for maize, you spend a lot in the farming process. You also spend a lot in putting in fertilizer, as against farming something like groundnuts, and you don't necessarily need to put fertilizer. In short, you don't put fertilizer at all. Then let me even pick another one against soybeans, for instance. The same process with the groundnuts. You don't put any fertilizer to it, and it grows very well, and you have your good harvest. All you just need to do is just to get good seeds, and you are planting and you observe it. So you can sell your lower crops and go to the market after harvest. You can go to the market and get your maize if you still want to buy maize, and you have some more change for yourself to even buy some other things. And it will surprise you to know that in a land, take for instance, in a land of 50 by 100, what you will, the amount of maize, if you plant maize, for instance, the amount of maize in terms of measure and even in terms of kg that you'll be harvesting will be lower than the amount of say groundnut or soybeans that you'll be planting on the same portion of land. That's how it is. And we have done our research. We are farmers ourselves. We have been doing farming all this while, and we are not telling you things that are just from books that we read, or these are things that we've practicalized, and these are facts that we have, and we can always share these facts with you at any point in time when you desire us to share that with you. So we encourage that you do this as against serving as security threat. I hope that this video today will be able to encourage someone that you are able to do the right thing. Now, I will say this: what I'm discussing today is planting those lower crops in residential areas as against planting taller crops. You can, if you still want to farm maize, which we encourage a lot of people to farm maize as well, is a lucrative practice. You can farm that in places that are farmlands where there are no houses, so you can farm that. You know that it's not serving as a threat to anybody. All you just do there is go do your farm, and most times when you are going to the farm, we have a lot of people, as the practice is in Africa, you have a lot of people going to the farm, so you are so safe. You have people around that could always will know your whereabouts, whatever you're doing in the farm, they could always see it. So that can actually be practiced in a farmland as against farming, doing that in residential areas. Let's bring back the practice back then in the village, where people have residential areas and they have farmlands. But if you must farm in residential areas, please, I encourage that you farm lower crops, because our security is very, very paramount. Security, they said, is everyone's business. We're doing this because we want Africa to be secure, we want the world to be secure, and want it to be a better place that every one of us will live and be blessed. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, click on the notification button, share with other people, and we'll always be dropping videos here. You'll be notified, and you can always watch our videos. We do videos on different things that have to do with agriculture, and you never can know. You might watch a video that will change your life. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you. Bye.